Boom, welcome back to the Second American Revolution. My name is Gabe the Great. Let's get straight into this. Okay, so today what I want to talk about is the reason why Donald Trump gets away with so much, right? We have the most corrupt president in American history. And everyone's talking about all the crimes, the plane from whatever nation that was. It doesn't even matter. The fact that you accepted a plane of $400 million. The fact that I just watched a video, he's made over $300 million off of his crypto scam, right? Suspending habeas, getting rid of habeas corpus, literally selling people. He sold those people to El Salvador, right? I think the report said he paid the El Salvador president got paid like they paid $15 million or something like that. It's something crazy, right? But it's just all this corruption. And every day, everybody's all up in arms. Like, oh my gosh, how could this happen? I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you why Donald Trump is the most corrupt president in U.S. history, and no one's doing anything about it. White supremacy. That's why. Period. Full stop. It's got nothing to do with party. It's got nothing to do with this base. It has nothing to do with, any of that. It has nothing to do with the weakness of the left. It has to do with white supremacy. And I've made videos on this. The purpose of white supremacy is to artificially make everybody else inferior so that white people can seem superior. So again, remember, y'all get caught up on, oh my gosh, how evil and how wicked and how wrong white supremacy is. Stop. Just stop. Put yourself in a white supremacist's shoes. Why? Why would you be a white supremacist? Well, because you want to have power over people. You want power. And you need a narrative, right, that people will give you power. See, a motherfucker like me, I want to compete. I don't want to lie about who I am. I want to compete. If you better than me, I want to see if you better than me. And if I'm better than you, step up, right? But white supremacy doesn't want to do that. White supremacy wants to artificially make everybody else inferior so that it can be superior, right? And it's not even so that white people can be superior. The purpose of white supremacy is to dupe the average white person. And I'm not talking about the MAGAs. We all know that they're being duped. I'm not talking about the MAGAs. I'm talking about the liberal white people. I'm talking about the leftist white people. I'm talking about the white people who can do YouTube videos about white supremacy, but doesn't have the balls to get in the fucking courtroom or to use their white privilege to the advantage of our nation right now. I'm talking about those people. I'm talking about the people who can give you documentaries and video essays and do all this reporting about the corruption, and they can get into details and the science and the data, but you know what the fuck they can't do? Save their goddamn country. That's what the white liberal can't do. Save their country. You know why? Because they've never had to stand for anything. Hear what I'm saying and don't hear what I'm not saying. The average white American has never had to stand for anything. They can choose to stand for something, but they've never had to do it. They've never had to do it. And here's what I know. When the going gets tough and your back is up against the wall, unless you snap, right? This is why we call it a crash out or something like that. You are not just going to do what you've never done before. You're not just going to stand for justice if you've never had to stand for justice before. If at all the other times you stood for justice, you were able to swipe up, or you were able to say, well, that doesn't concern me. Or you were able to go, man, that's sad. See, all the other times you were supposed to stand for justice, all the other times you were supposed to protest, you found a way to opt out. You didn't have to go to the protest because it didn't concern you. Right? So now when you have to, you don't know how to do it. Give you two examples from my personal life, right? A lot of you guys, everybody who follows me knows, my daughter got abused by Paula McCown, who is a special education teacher in the 4J school district. My daughter, Maya Bella Reed, is nonverbal and autistic, and from kindergarten through second grade, Paula McCown, first grade through kindergarten and first grade. My daughter was put in solitary confinement, illegal restraint and seclusion by Oregon law. She was illegally restrained and secluded by Paula McCown nearly every day, multiple times a day, in solitary confinement in this device that they call the Roundy Round. The Roundy Round is a 48-inch space divider that they coiled around my little girl's body. My daughter was not able to put her hands out. This was public school for my nonverbal autistic child every single day. This would happen 5 to 10 times a day for 20 to 30 minutes at a time. I had no idea for 2 years. The reason why I had no idea for 2 years is because the 4J school district had implemented a system where the EAs were not allowed to tell the parents the truth. They were not allowed to say, hey, this is what's going on in here. And they had came to multiple principals to let the principal know, hey, Paula McCown is not treating these children right. They themselves weren't trained because the 4J school district didn't train these educational assistants on how to properly use restraint and seclusion inside of special education settings. And so these guys, they fought, hey, we need more training. We need to understand, because a lot of the things that she's doing, it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem like it's legal. And in fact, it wasn't. But they were never trained, so they didn't know what to do or how to do it or anything like that. They even went to the superintendent. They eventually, after years, right? Because she was mistreating kids before she got the my kid. But according to the EAs, the educational assistants, it really ramped up during my daughter's time. And one of the reasons that the EAs told me my daughter was maliciously and deliberately abused, their words was, my daughter gets the worst emotional and psychological abuse out of all the children at Charlemagne Elementary School in the 4J school district in Eugene, Oregon. These are eyewitness accounts. This is not a father, right, going, oh, my kid got some bruises on their arm from school and I want to sue. This is a father who was told by eyewitnesses in the classroom, your daughter is receiving the worst emotional and psychological abuse out of any of the children in these classrooms. It was physical abuse too, but again, they weren't trained, so they didn't know. So, what did I do? What did I do once I found that out? Well, I sued the school district and 25 other individuals with Paula McCown, who I found out through an investigation. I conducted an investigation, interviewed over 10 people connected with the case, right? Eyewitnesses, over dozens of eyewitnesses, people who have worked with Paula McCown, and I went and wrote a complaint by myself. Never, other than my divorce, never really been in court. Didn't know anything about it. Looked it up myself. Took me a month and a half. Wrote my first complaint. Right? Wrote a complaint suing the school district and 26 other people, or 25 other people, for $564 million. That case is now in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, case number 24-789. There is no cap in my rap, bro. There is no cap in my rap. You guys can go look it up. You can go look it up right now, okay? Now you may say, Gabe, how were you able, right? Because look at what I did. I found out that my daughter was getting abused. What did I do? Sue the school district for $564 million. Right? Why? Accountability. These people are violating my daughter's 8th Amendment right. They are subjecting her to cruel and unusual punishment every single day of her life. Every single day of my daughter's life, she was subjected to cruel and unusual punishment deliberately at the hands of the 4J school district. We start at 9 figures, nigga. The fuck is wrong with these guys? The fuck is wrong with the 4J school district for having the audacity to think they could fuck with my baby girl? So I sued them for $564 million. Gabe, how were you able to do that? Why didn't you get a lawyer? Or when you got a lawyer and you found out that it didn't work out, why didn't you just take your kid to a new school district? Why didn't you just, do it another route? Because I've had experience with this. I've had experience with people lying to me. I've had experience with conspiracy. Way back in 2016, right? I found out that the church that I was a part of, the International Christian Churches, ICC, comes from the ICOC, goes by Restored Churches Worldwide, or Restored Church Worldwide. They got a stupid name now. RCW, Restored Church Worldwide. I found out that they were misappropriating funds. I was a church leader. I was an evangelist of a church, and I found out in our movement of churches, we were collecting money and telling the people, the members of the church, hey, this is where your money's going to missions, but it wasn't going to missions. The head guy had $1 million condo. Turns out one of the main church, the one that everybody was praising, didn't even have money. The main guy had to donate 6 figures out of his own pocket just to keep the light on in the church. Meanwhile, the whole movement of churches is thinking that this church is like the beacon of spirituality. No. So what did I do? I wrote a 42-page paper, 42-page letter, called all of it out, all of it, from the roots. It's called Living in the Book of Acts Part 2, right? I found out that some shit happened. I stood up. So then, 7 years later, when someone comes to me and says, my daughter's been abused, what did I do? I stood up. Because that muscle had been exercised. And there was a lot of other little standings up, right? I remember one time, I got a couch from like Rent-A-Center, and the person there was trying to jip me. So I went off on her. And my baby mom was like, calm down. No. I gotta stand up for myself. You are trying to take money out of my kid's mouth. No, I'm standing up for myself. It is a muscle. It is a muscle. You don't just wake up one day and just start standing up for injustice, right? The reason why Donald Trump is able to get away with everything is because white people have not exercised standing up for justice. That's why Donald Trump is able to get away with everything. White supremacy has made them weak and dumb. So that Donald Trump plays in a fucking face you can't play with a nigga face. And you think you can play in a nigga face like that in the hood? You can't. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. You can't play with motherfuckers like this in the hood, bro. This is why all the black people right now, while the country's going through all this, we all like, this is some white people shit. We talking about it amongst ourselves in our community about what we should do and how to come together and this and that. But the reason why Donald Trump is able to get away with it is because white people don't know how to stand up for justice until a black person does it first. White people don't know how to get on the front line of shit except a lie. And if you're being offended by this, so what? Show me the white person who's sticking their neck out, not making content. We're all making content. We're all making content. Show me the figure that has come out, the white figure who has come out to vehemently go, no, bro, we need to overthrow this. We need a new constitution. Show me the white person that radical. Where are they at? I'm not saying, I just haven't seen them. Maybe they exist and I don't know about them. But what I do know is Donald Trump couldn't pop no shit off like this in the hood. Not without like getting rid of some people. Right? Like this is what I'm saying. He's a fake dictator. This is why he needed the Oval Office, because a real dictator would have just took that thing with force. But he needs, again, white supremacy is about fabricating reality. That's white supremacy. You fabricate a reality and then you force people to live by it. That's white supremacy. So you have all these white liberals who can go, and all these white leftists who can talk all fucking day about what's wrong with Trump, but none of them bitch ass niggas will stand up for shit. They waiting on someone who look like me to stand up. They waiting on the people that been oppressed for hundreds of years to stand up. That's what they want. They want someone who, they don't want to have to risk shit. They want to take calculated acts of resistance. No, nigga, stick your neck out there. Stick your neck out there. But they can't do it. They can't do it. Because the gag of white supremacy is not that it makes white people strong. It just makes everybody else weaker. That's the gag of white supremacy. It artificially makes life harder for some people. But this is the gag of white supremacy. Oppression is anti-evolutionary, and oppression will always lead in the destruction of the oppressed. Why? Because it's a self-eating action. One, everything's connected, right? We're all connected. Nobody has a monopoly on consciousness. You conscious, I'm conscious, people watching this, people driving, everybody's conscious. Nobody's got a monopoly on consciousness. So when you harm another conscious being, you are, or when you oppress another conscious being, you are oppressing consciousness. You are oppressing the same entity, the same thing within all of us. This is why we recognize all of ourselves as part of the human race, except white people. Except white people. White people want to prop themselves up as being above and as being superior, and we've been doing this bullshit for 250 years. But here's what happens when you do that. When you create systems of oppression, I explain this in my manifesto. I'll make it very simple. If you have a PE class and the white kids only got to do 5 push-ups to pass the class, and the black kids got to do 15 push-ups to pass the class, it's probably more likely you're probably going to have more white people that graduate. But for the black people who do graduate, they're going to be 3 times stronger than the white people. It's just how it works. If you oppress me and I survive, you're fucked, because now I'm stronger than you, and there's nothing you can do about it. This is why you can't do shit like this in the hood. This is what niggas know. Niggas are closer to reality than white people, because whiteness, right? Again, every single thing that MAGA complains about is an issue they created. Why is everything about race? Because you dumbasses went to Africa and made everything about race. You stupid fucks. You literally built a constitution institutionalizing white supremacy. That's why everything's about race. Why can't I say the N-word? No, you can say it. There's just going to be consequences. You just want to be racist without consequence. Oh, DEI. Oh, DEI. Yeah. We have to teach you diversity, equity, and inclusion because we already know about it. There's diversity within blackness. There's diversity within Hispanics. There is diversity amongst Asian. White people are the only group of people that want to fight diversity. The animal kingdom loves diversity. The planet loves diversity. There is one singular group that hates diversity. And it's been that way for 250 fucking years. Every single issue. The feminists. The feminists is why, white people aren't having kids and this. Yeah. If you didn't oppress your women, you wouldn't have had a feminist movement, you stupid assholes. But you wrote your women out of the Constitution. Why did you write your women out? If you didn't write your women out of the Constitution, they would have never had to revolt for their rights. There would be no hatred of you, you dumb fuck. If you would have just given black people their reparations, they could have built their own. Or, no, you didn't even have to give us our reparations. All you had to do was free us and leave us the fuck alone. We literally built. We built wealth. Right? We were strong. We were strong enough. Right? It is not until white people come along with their artificial systems of oppression so that they can feel superior. But if you make everybody else weaker, you're not getting stronger. You are stagnant. You are stagnant. So in terms of spirituality, in terms of character, the white race is spiritually and morally bankrupt. Y'all don't know how to stand for nothing because whiteness and white supremacy is an ideology that is built on lies. And in order to be white, in order to identify as white, even if you're a leftist or liberal, in order to identify as white, you do not have a choice. You have to reinforce a system of white supremacy. The only purpose of whiteness is oppression. There is no significance in identifying yourself as white. There's no significance in identifying myself as black. The only reason why blackness has significance, and I believe has more significance than whiteness, is because we've made meaning of it. We have actualized blackness. We have actualized what it means to be black. You guys haven't actualized what it means to be white because wealthy white people hate you motherfuckers. We've actualized blackness. We can tell you what it's like to be black. We can create movies about blackness. We can have language and art and culture all centered around blackness. White people can't do that. Because everything that you try to claim as white has roots in something else. Even when white people get mad that Beyonce did country music, where the fuck you niggas think country came from? Rock and roll? Yeah, that's us too. Y'all didn't invent democracy. Whiteness is literally just lying about your history. This is why I'm saying we need a new constitution where it's not about race. It's not about whiteness. It's not about blackness. It's about values. To be an American is to have a certain set of values. That's what y'all want. That's what white people have purported since the birth of this country. To be American means to hold American values. Okay, American values are literally slavery and the oppression of women. Those are the written, like, into law values. That's American values. The only people who have actualized American values are the oppressed classes of the United States of America. The black people and the people who have assisted them, and women and children and disabled people and gay people and all these people, we are the true Americans. White people must lie. They don't have a choice. They have to lie. You have to lie. Because your founding fathers are liars. When we go back in history and figure out who they really are, this is why Donald Trump, he has to destroy history. He has to lie. Donald Trump, think about it, guys. Donald Trump would not have popular support without lying. Lying is necessary for Donald Trump to have power. Lying. The man lied over 35,000 times in his first presidency. And I think I read somewhere he's on pace to do 60,000 lies this time around. Why is he just able to lie 35,000 times? Because he's white. You guys wouldn't allow Obama to do that. Y'all wouldn't even let a white woman do that. Hillary had a Gmail, and I haven't stopped hearing about it in a decade. A white woman had a Gmail. Yeah, it's a little bit more than that. But nigga, whatever was on those fucking emails does not compare to 35,000 lies in a $400 million jet. It just doesn't. But white supremacy. He's a wealthy white man. And that's what America values. So all the white people who are doing their dissertations about what's wrong with Trump and what's wrong with right and MAGA, they're all missing the point. All you white people have to do is stand up for yourselves. But you don't know how to stand up for yourselves. You don't know how to do it. Protesting is not going to get it done. You guys are trying to use 1960 black methods in the year 2025. If every white person who disagreed with Trump just got on the internet and says, hey, Second Amendment, and like out loud, stop waiting on a black person to put their neck out. Stop waiting. Again, this is why even now we can't unite. Because to be white is to not actually have values. Your whiteness does not require you to actually live your beliefs. You don't have to put your neck out for anything. Because you're white, society just has to accept that you are a good person. Society just has to accept your lies. Because you're white. Y'all don't want to dismantle white supremacy along with us. Risk your necks. A white person needs to put their neck out. That's what needs to happen. A white person needs to put their neck out. But until they do it, but as history has shown us, nah, it's not usually till a black person puts their neck out. It's not usually till a black person puts it all on the line that we get real change, or somebody of some minority oppressed class. That's when white people act. And even then, y'all don't act. Yo, fam, the racists, the white supremacists were killing white children. Sandy Hook, Uvalde, I might not even be saying that name right anymore. Virginia Tech, Columbine. Bro, they kill your kids and you don't do nothing about it. My kid didn't get killed, and I'm trying to sue the government for $564 million. Every time they write a manifesto, they go take your children's life, white children's lives, too. That's what it is, man. That's why he gets away with it. White people, your whiteness does not allow you to actualize your faith. Or I won't say it doesn't allow you to, right? But because of it, you are able to kind of look at justice from afar, right? You're able to observe justice. You're able to critique and criticize and to talk about everything that's wrong with Donald Trump while not sticking your neck out to do anything. This is why I don't believe anybody. I don't believe anybody when they say they oppose Trump. Who's putting their neck out? Huh? Who, not even putting your neck out. Who is just trying to hold these people accountable? A lot of what you guys are doing is just defending yourselves. You're just trying to stop them from opposing you. You guys aren't actually trying to enact consequences on these people. Yo, white people could have called for Judge Marichon's job in New York, but they didn't. They could have forced that person off the bench. They didn't, bro. The judge who, when the people said Donald Trump was guilty of committing fraud, and the judge just let it go, white people could have got that guy out of here, but they didn't. White people could have got the judge out of, and what that would have sent a message to your Supreme Court: fuck around and find out. But white people, civility. We got to keep civility. We got to keep... No, for what? What are you guys trying to save at this point? What society do you think you're going to have at the end of this? Right? I've made a video on it. You will be a white supremacist. This is why, like, if you guys are serious about this, we need a completely new constitution, and we need radicalized white people. We need white people who are going to actually actualize. I'm tired of black men being assassinated for this country. I'm tired of it. Yeah, there's been some, right? JFK, you know, I'm not saying that there ain't been any. But proportionally, right? So this is one of those things. So okay, so how do we overcome it? Because I've been talking a lot. How do we overcome this? How do white people gain the conviction? Well, tell you another story, right? Or going back to my daughter's situation. Yo, when I first found out about my daughter's situation, I wanted to crash out. But here's the thing. If you've never been about that life, you're not just gonna wake up one day and be about that life, right? You're not just gonna wake up, right? My conscience is not one of a street nigga, so I'm not gonna handle this the street way. It's just I'm not just gonna wake up and do that, because I know if I do that, it's a crash out. That's a crash out, and there goes my life. And I like my life too much to just throw it away because Paula McCown is an old bitch who, you know, gets off on abusing special needs kids. And because Aaron Finnerty is a judge who thinks that she's protected by judicial immunity. I'm not about to throw my life away for them bitches. Fuck them hoes. No. As long as I'm alive, I can call them bitches. As long as I'm alive, I can call them hoes. As long as I'm alive, I can talk about them. And if they ever get stupid enough to drag me into court, I'm gonna talk about them there too. I'm gonna actualize who I am. This is why they don't, like, this is why they will give you space. They back off against people who stand up. Right? So you guys need to start taking risks, and you guys need to do more. You guys need to not just give us critiques of, stop reporting on the corruption. Stop. We know he's corrupt. We know he broke the law today, guys. You're just doing this for views. You're content farming a constitutional crisis. Stop. Just stop. Right? Turn up your rhetoric. Call for the Second Amendment. If the Second Amendment can't be used right here, then there is no Second Amendment. Y'all don't believe in it. That's what I'm saying. I need white people to give us their values. I need white people to show us their values. I don't want. I'm uninterested in your critiques of Trump. I'm uninterested in, oh, this is the new crime he committed today. Okay, we'll put your neck out there. Because why motherfuckers who look like me got to put our neck out there? Right? So turn up the rhetoric. Turn up the rhetoric. You are white. There is zero reason as white people, especially you independent journalists. You independent journalists with larger networks, turn up your rhetoric. Turn it up. Oh, well, no, they may come for me. Yes, bro. Yes. Just like they've came for all the niggas. Yes, bro. They will come for you. They will retaliate. And your bitch ass better stand firm. Yes, nigga. Yes. They are gonna come for you. That's the point. You actualize it. You actualize your values. And when they retaliate, not if, when they retaliate, you don't back down. Yes, bro. That's how that shit works. That's what Nina Simone did. That's what Billie Holiday did. Come on, man. That's what these people did. I need more white people to put more skin in the game. Because the reason why Donald Trump is able to get away with everything that he gets away with is because he's white. It's not because he's smart. It's not because he's intelligent. It's not even because he's rich. It's because he's white. And it's because white supremacy makes the average white person weak and dumb. It's dumb sitting up here calling him corrupt if you ain't gonna do nothing about it. You look stupid to everyone on the outside. People outside of America think Americans look stupid right now. And it's because the largest demographic, white people, they don't know. They've never had to. They've never had to for their existence. My blackness requires me to stand for my values. If I do not stand for my values, I will not exist. Because no matter what I am to you people, you will always, my skin color will always be politicized, right? I heard this one quote one time. A brother said it to me, and it's always stayed with me. He says, I can make things not about race, but I can't control if you make things about my race, right? It's like my skin colors, I thank the white people who have been in my life who've helped me see that. I remember when talking to one of my buddies when I first did my manifesto and first started going forward with my daughter and everything. He said, I was like, yeah, man, I'm just worried because this is a predominantly white town and da-da-da. He said, listen, man, your skin color is going to be politicized anyway. You're black. Calling you black is a political statement. As a white person, you might scoff at that, but again, you don't experience race. Like you don't experience race. You don't know. You observe race, and then you cry about victimhood when someone tries to hold you accountable, right? So you need to turn up your rhetoric, white people. You need to turn up your rhetoric, and when they retaliate, you need to stand firm. That's what needs to happen. That's what this country needs. We need white people who are going to be willing. And I'm not talking about getting arrested or just getting arrested for like protesting. I'm talking about you said something or you did something radical. That's what needs to happen. Stop waiting on a person of color to do it. Because if I have to do it, all right, I'll die behind what I believe. But my message will not be modified to appease white people. No. You guys have every excuse in the world to get radical, and it's just not enough, man. We shouldn't even be at Trump. Trump shouldn't even have an opportunity to run for president. This is why I don't believe most white people when they say they're my ally or they say they are for me. I need to see it, bro. Like, bro, y'all don't think about how many court cases there have been against Donald Trump. Why is he even out? A bunch of white people did not have the guts to stand up to white supremacy. That's simple. Y'all don't know how to, and because of that, I keep saying I'm gonna end this, but I keep getting more thoughts about it. Because of that, you don't have a deep level of understanding to be able to navigate this time period and to properly attack it. It's not until that fifth, sixth, seventh time of standing up for yourself that you encounter a question that you never heard before. And someone gives you a perspective you've never seen before. And now your values get tested. Now it gets tested with something real, not just the threat of your existence. But now it gets threatened with something more logical, something more rational, or something that appears more logical and more rational, right? White people don't go say, hey man, this is white supremacy. Oh, you making it about race? No. America made it about race. Y'all got to get in the trenches so that y'all can get on our level. And y'all really need somebody to say it to you like that. You guys are not, the average white person is not on the level of the average black person or Hispanic person or non-white person in America when it comes to standing up for our values. And I promise white people are going to be in the comment section go, oh, well, what about, why aren't you doing anything? Again, bro, they want a society. I talked about it earlier. The purpose of white supremacy is to bend society and reality to itself by crafting all these lies and everything. All right, I'm going to end it there. Love you guys. Bye.